Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for The Thing About Pam, Season 1, Episode 2. She's a helper. And that she was. I mean, she was around there being, the biggest help. The biggest help. So it's 2011. Pam is at Betsy's mother's house playing her role. You know, per usual. She's planting the seeds of doubt. You know, Betsy's daughter, she walks in asking about her father. And, you know, Pam is quick to throw a little salt in there. You know, she's just like, well, what you want to call him for? Like, I don't think that you should just, I think that you should just cease all contact with him. I don't think that you should, you know, talk to him anymore. Because, you know, he's down at the police station. And so, the mama, of course, she doesn't want to believe it. You know, right now, everybody's just kind of, you know, questioning why they would be why they would have him and why they would be questioning him for a whole 24 hours. Pam is just there to plant the seeds of doubt. That's just that's her end game right now. At the station, they give Russ a polygraph and they come back and tell him that he failed. Now, during his polygraph, the person didn't even, I don't even remember them asking anything about the murder. It was just like, it's today's date, January 10th, 2011. You know, like it was simple questions that he couldn't possibly fail. And then you see the guy like fiddling with the stuff. And then all of a sudden he done failed. So yeah, they in there doing shady business. When as it relates to the police. Okay, the lady in charge comes in and we find out that she's the DA. So her name is Leah. DA Leah. That's what we gonna call her. DA Leah comes in there and tells them that they have to let him go because it's been a whole 24 hours. Like they can't keep him past that. So go ahead and let him go. And they still don't have anything. They still don't have nothing to hold him. They don't have nothing to arrest him. Their case is very shoddy. Sorry about the loud school bus driving by. I got this door open right here because this ring lights are hot. Now why they got to do all this? Last week it was what was it? It was the people mowing the lawn and blowing leaves and all of that. And today it's trucks and stuff. Anyway, back to the review. Betsy wastes no time getting the rumor mill going. She calls a friend who calls a friend who calls a friend. And now the news is circulating about Russ being in custody. And so those rumors, you know, now people are starting to believe it. Like, okay, well, enough people have spread the rumor around for mama to get on board with the lie and for everybody, you know, to basically think that Russ is the one that did it. Betsy's mom speaks with DA Leah and Pam is right there asking questions, you know, like, so what you need, you know, what are you guys questioning him? She's prying, you know, trying to get information on the case. And DA Leah just tells her that they're going to have to get something, you know, tangibles. They're going to need probable cause. And so Pam is like, so you need like a witness, you need like some evidence, like some firsthand evidence. Okay, so I got you. I understand. She gonna go on and cook that up right quick. She tells them that they're gonna be the first. I mean, not them, but she'll let Betsy's mom know when they do make an arrest. She'll be the first person that they call. When they get off the phone, Betsy's daughter, she wants to go, you know, and see her father. And of course, again, they all forbid her, you know, from contacting him. He's in there with the police. He has to be guilty. There's no reason why you need to be reaching out to him. And Pam, she thinks it's her job to add on there, oh, and he's not even your real father. He's not even your real dad. That girl, like, he the only dad I've ever known. So that's daddy. Yeah, but they're trying to trying to steer her in one direction. But this particular daughter, her name is Mariah. She's not buying any of this. She's not rolling over so easily. She's not as easily convinced as the rest of the family. The other daughter, she's just throwing in her shade because, she's the troubled teen. So she got issues just because daddy don't like her boyfriend. I guess it's fair enough, whatever. So she's really not even thinking clearly. It's just like you have your own biases, but you're not really thinking like, would he do this to our mom? Do we really believe he did this to our mom? No. Mariah's not buying it. Pam leaves, and when she gets a call from her husband, she's getting in the car, she gets a call from her husband, and he tells her that the police called and that they wanted to meet, I guess, that day or the next day or something like that, but he told them that, more than likely they wouldn't be able to do it because they had to go see about some renovations. They flip houses. And so she's like, call them back. Because listen, the police need our help. We're going to help them. Call them back. And she's so excited to help the police. Like anytime they calling her or they need her to, add her 2 cents, she's excited. And she's more than willing to go up in there and tell them people lies. She's more than willing to do that. Okay, it's 2007. And it's Bessie's oldest daughter's wedding. And Pam was in charge of the music. She got the people out there on the dance floor at the reception doing the hokey pokey. And she's really, having herself a good time. I said the hokey pokey. Please don't invite me to the wedding if that is what's on the playlist for the evening. I don't want to hokey pokey. Swag surf, yes. But I don't want to hokey pokey, okay? Let's not hokey pokey. Anyway, the party's going on or whatever, and Betsy, she calls the bride up down to the dance floor. Everybody's having a good time, and then Pam gets the mic, and she gets on the mic like, this is such a nice, I'm so glad that I was able to help pay for I'm so glad that I was able to pay for this entire wedding. You do know I paid for it, right? And everybody's like, she gets tackier and tackier as she continues to speak. And Betsy's like, okay, go ahead and give me the mic back. All right. I mean, just spilling all kind of tea and throwing shade at the same time. They should have known then that something wasn't right with Pam, but I guess she let it slide. The next day, Pam and her husband, they have the police over for a little chat, and they tell her that they just want to talk to Mark, and she's like, oh, okay. Sits right on down as they just want to talk to Mark. Go ahead, Mark, show him, go ahead and play the voicemail that Betsy left for you. The voicemail that she had Betsy leave, so they listen to that. And she starts offering up all this information. She just knows so much about them people in their marriage and how there's this email, with a letter. Did you hear about? Because when she feels like she hasn't convinced you, she has to continue to add to the story so that I guess it's more convincing. Because she's trying to paint Russ out to be the abusive husband. And so she knows it all. She continues to lie, and lie. And I mean lie. It's 2 officers. One of them is, hanging on her every word. And the other is like, so why would she send you an email about that instead of just talking to you face to face? And so she has to think of another lie to add to that one, which she does. She quick on her feet. She is quick on her feet when it comes to these lies. She's crazy. But anyway, they are, when she starts talking about that email and what it entails, she says that he'd like to play a game where he would, cover her face with a pillow and, and hold it there and tell her this is what it feels like when you're about to die. And it's just like, why do you keep telling everybody this little lie, this same story? It's a lie. And they're all like, oh, wow, really? Oh, so there's motive. He had to do it. They ain't doing no police work. I mean, just shoddy police work all around. It's just terrible. They ain't checking no forensic evidence. I mean, y'all would be able to find out so much if you would just look at the evidence Amateurs. This is amateur hour for sure. They asked if she would, be able to testify to all of this, and she's of course, I'll do that. Of course, I'll snitch. Sure thing. So DA Leah, she gets a call, and tells her assistant, go ahead and tell the judge that we got our probable cause. Go ahead and get him on the line. Russ is staying at his mama house. His sister's over there. They're about to eat dinner. And 12 just busts in the room. FBI, get on the ground, hands up. And everybody's like, whoa, what? As soon as he get in the car, he's like, lawyer. Go ahead and go on and get me a lawyer. I ain't saying nothing. So his lawyer comes in, and this lawyer, his hair reminded me of A.C. Slater. And so his name is Joel A.C. Slater. So when I say Joel A.C. Slater, that's what I'm talking about. Joel the lawyer. Joel A.C. Slater comes into town. And he has a partner with him on the case, and they checking into their hotel. Well, their motel. It's like the Motel 6. Joel is your average defense attorney, flashy, wins, probably got a 99% rate when it comes to winning. He seems like he gonna get the job done. But anyway, Pam, she's at the store getting her Slurpee like she always do, and the cashier tells her, did you hear about Russ being at the police office? Did you hear about him getting arrested? And she's like, arrested? Oh my God, wow, no way. Arrested? No way. And she get her little Slurpee and walks off. That was good. Oh, good. Little cranberry juice. Ladies, make sure you're drinking not ladies. Everybody should be drinking cranberry juice, as much as we drink water. Cranberry juice is good for you, okay? Okay, Joel Lacey Slater. He gets to the station. He wants to speak to his client. And the girl at the front desk is like, oh, he's in holding. You'll have to wait. And Joel Lacey Slater is like, psh, wait, where? And so he proceeds to just walk on back. Another one of the detectives is like, you can't go back there. He's like, why are you questioning my client without his attorney present? Like, what we doing? No, I'm going back here. I'm going back there. When Joel A.C. Slater gets back there to see Russ, he asks, did they really question you for 24 hours? Like, what did you tell them? And he says, I told them everything. I told them the truth. DA Leah, she's outside, in the little precinct a little bit. She's feeling a little shaky, because her case is shoddy. They don't have no evidence. He's sticking to his story about being around there with the friends, with the homies, having a little smoke session. After he left the house, after he left the kickback, he went to Arby's. That's his story. He's sticking to it. And so there's really nothing they can do about that. They're discussing the case and they don't have any blood evidence. So it's like they're back at square one, with trying to find something to something tangible to pin on him, but to no avail. They ain't gonna be able to find it because he ain't do it. So back in holding with Joel Lacey Slater and them, he's telling them the same thing. And he was out with the guys and he stopped at Arby's on the way home, and Joel Lacey Slater is just jotting it all down like And he asked, okay, so if you didn't take her home, who took her home? Oh, her friend Pam. Pam? Who's that? I mean, she's cool. She's a nice lady. She's, very helpful girl. She's been nothing but a big help to my wife. Pam took her home. And so, Joel, now his eyes is on Pam. He said he got what he came for, so he gets up to leave. And Russ is like, so you just gonna leave me? So now what? I got to stay here? And that look of fear really solidified it for Joel Lacey Slater. Now he really can believe that his client is innocent, and so he's really willing. He's gonna help now. We got to get you free, because he believes that he did it. He said he know the face of an innocent man. Outside, back in the precinct, DA Leah, she's telling him that she needs more evidence. She says tear apart the house, find that blood. They also have to figure out how he got from Arby's to the house, and if he is able to do that in enough time to murder her. And so one of the cops say he's on that. He gonna figure that out. They gonna all do what they supposed to do. Break. They take one of the guys. He takes the patrol car, and I guess he uses the speedometer, and he speeds all the way from the Arby's to the house, and where the cops are already there tearing up the house. But he gets there and he's like, told y'all he can make it in enough time. And it's like, you ain't proved jack shit. You ain't proved nothing, man. This proves nothing. But anyway, he was convinced. Pam and her husband, they're having financial issues. So we see, with flipping these houses and all of that, they need some money because one of the houses has mold and they're going to need more money than they have. And she says she's going to get the money. Okay, then we see Joel A.C. Slater and his partner. They meet for drinks to talk about the case, and partner say he found something. After speaking with a few of Russ's homies, they all tell him Russ left the house about 9 o'clock. And so it's like, that's a lot later. That's a lot later. So clearly, I don't know whether he thought he left later or what. I don't remember what time Russ gave them, but that's timestamp. Remember, we talked about that last week. They also looked closely at the autopsy photos, and she has a bruise on her neck, and there's also a stab wound there. So it appears that all of these stab wounds were made post-mortem. Like somebody just, strangled her first, and then just stabbed her and tried to create like a frantic frenzy of a murder to make it look like a crime of passion. It was kind of methodical, if you will. So then we see DA Leah. She drops in on their conversation. She just, strolls up talking, oh, so nice to see y'all here. And they're like, enough of that small talk. So when you gonna send round that evidence, when you gonna send that polygraph and that luminol, them pictures, when you gonna send that? And she's like, oh, I'm right on top of that, Rose. I'll get right on top of that. All right, now, see y'all later. She's new here. She's new here. When she leaves, they continue their conversation. They're throwing out different ideas, different scenarios, theories, if you will. The daughter's boyfriend, he couldn't have done it. Like, he's an asshole, but he didn't do it. Russ obviously didn't do it. And it's like, so what about this lady, Pam? She was the last person to see her alive, but they can't figure out, they need her phone records and all of that, but DA Leah won't give them up. She doesn't think that it's necessary because Pam doesn't fit the mold. She doesn't look like your average murderer, I guess, and that ain't who we trying to put. That ain't who we want to see on the stake. So DA Leah, we see her and one of the detectives in her office after hours, looking at the crime scene photos. They're still trying to make fetch happen. Like, they are trying to find some kind of way that this points back to him. We got bloody fingerprints on the light switch. It's kind of smudged. Then we got bloody house shoes in the closet. And it's like, why would he take his shoes off after the murder and put them back in the closet? Like, what? There was no blood on his clothes. All of that would tell me this ain't the guy. Y'all done picked, when did he have time to take a shower and all of that? Y'all done looked through the drains, no blood. Y'all done looked everywhere for blood evidence and nothing. And y'all still trying to make it happen, still on some, well, maybe he did it naked. He didn't do it, dumbass. He didn't do it. Y'all got the wrong guy. Damn. Anyway, she gets up, because the cop that's there, he start grabbing on her hand and all that. She's like, all right, well, I'm going to go on in and head out. I'm going to go on and head out. I don't know what that was about. But we figure out what that's about towards the end. We'll hold that thought. He also, he gives her this envelope, and I thought that it was the email that Pam was talking about that maybe she had forged, but it was something else. Okay, Pam and her son Travis, they putting up Christmas decorations, and she gets this call from DA Leah wanting to meet. And again, she's so excited, like, the DA wants to speak to me. Her son is like, didn't you already talk to them? She's like, that was the police. This is the DA. It's the district attorney. Like, I get to talk to her. Crazy girl. And she just be talking. And if anybody is smart enough, they're listening with, intently to the fact that she's the one who did it. It's obvious. It's always the one that is so gung-ho about all of the detail, wanting to know all the details. They got all the answers. They're just so heavily involved in the case. And they're not, police officers, like they're not a part of the case, but they want to be so involved. Yeah, look at that person. And nobody's looking at that person. Nobody but Joel A.C. Slater and his partner and me. Okay, Joel A.C. Slater and his partner, they dropped by DA Leah's office asking, about the evidence, because he still don't have the pictures and all of that. And she keeps with her passive aggressiveness. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that to you. I got you. Yeah, no worries. It's right on the way. It'll be there soon, okay? It'll be there soon. Betsy's daughters, they go back to the house to grab a few things. The youngest daughter, Mariah, she's still this is not sitting well with her. Let me just close this though. It's still not sitting well with her, how everything is going down. But it is what it is, I think that, I don't think that they're going to be able to sway her. I think that she's going to continue to, pay attention. She paying attention too. Cause she be eavesdropping and listening, when Pam is just running her mouth. Okay, so in that envelope, let me back up. Joel Lacey Slater and his partner, they're hard at work. They're working on the case, and they're looking over Pam's water bill. He sees that she took a shower that night, then took a shower again first thing in the morning. That's kind of off. Also they're looking into her emails and the phone records and all of that. At the same time, over there with DA Leah and Pam, they're having their sit down. She's giving her the story again about the pillow, the email, the pillow game she keeps referencing. Joel and his partner, they're reading up on, like I said, they're looking up her records and documents, things like that. And they find that 4 days before the murder that Betsy changed her beneficiary to Pam from her husband. Over there with DA Leah and Pam, they're also discussing this beneficiary change. But her dumb ass is looking at it like, oh, he has motive now. He found that out, and that's why he did that. And Pam is, of course, she's helping that story move along. Over there with Joel A.C. Slater and his partner, they already know, oh, she's the one with the motive, because why she the beneficiary? Yeah, we got to look into Pam. Again, DA Leah, she just is dumb as... She's dumb. She is very incompetent. But of course, she needs her to testify, and Pam says she volunteers. She all but volunteers to testify. She's good to go. Okay, Pam, she's over at Betsy's mother's house, lying about that policy. She just wanted me to have it, and at the last minute she changed it. And it's like, girl. And her daughter Mariah sitting over there like, what what you talking about? You know, she's listening. Like I said, she's paying attention. But she's just offering up the information, painting the picture like she always does, and everybody just drinking the Kool-Aid. Everybody but their youngest daughter. Pam, she is at home eating dinner and telling her mother is with them, and she's telling her mother and her husband Mark that she, you know, she got the money and how she got the money, how she was able to be the beneficiary, all that. She's lying to them as well. And Betsy mama gonna say, because now, and now they have the money to, you know, do what they need to do for that fixer-upper. And her mama said, so now you can get that facelift you've been wanting. And Pam was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And mama say, your face knows what I'm talking about. And she busts out laughing. Oh, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Her mom is crazy too. Her mom is a meanie too. Anyway. Joel A.C. Slater and partner, they find another lead. Pam, she been trying to get insurance money left and right. Just making all kind of claims, but to no avail. She's not been able to cash out on this stuff, but I guess finally now she has an opportunity. They also see that in a yearbook, an old yearbook photo of D.A. Leah and the judge, and they're friends from high school. So it's like, that's a conflict of interest right there. That's a conflict of interest. That's gonna be a problem. Pam, she talking to the police, and you know he's asking her about that trust money because she's supposed to set up a trust fund for Betsy's daughters, and she hasn't done that yet. She just got the $150K sitting in her checking account, and he's like, so I'm gonna need you to go on and set up the trust before the trial. And she's like, I'll do it. Yeah, I'm gonna need to know that you're gonna do it before the trial. And she keeps, yeah, I'm gonna do it, 100%. 100%, I got you. She 100% lying. She is not going to do it, nor does she have any plans to do anything with that money but keep it. Joe A.C. Slater and his partner are on Pam's ass still. They find the receipt. The timestamp is from when the order was placed, not when it was received. So that does give him some time. It saves him like 5 minutes or something like that. So he really couldn't have gotten there in enough time to murder her. They're also skeptical about those slippers. It looks as if someone dipped them in the blood. And she also, her socks were weird. Her socks were kind of like half on her feet. And so what they suspect is that whoever did it had the socks on their hands, used the, you know, to cover up their prints, put the shoes in the blood and got a little on the socks as well because there was blood on the socks. And it's like, how she get blood on her socks? How did blood get on the socks? The wounds are up here. How did blood get on the socks? And so, again, we got to look closely at Pam. Russ, he calls Joel, who is at home about to sit down for dinner, and he tells him, you know, I'm missing my girls. I ain't talked to him. It's not like Mariah, you know, to not reach out. You know, he's just worried about his case. And Joel A.C. Slater tells him, you know, we got the truth on our side, so it's really nothing for you to really worry about. But it is. It is, guys, because then we see down at the bar, everybody knows everybody involved in this case. And I mean everybody. We seeing the sheriff. He walking through there with a drink in his hand. Then we got D.A. Leah in there hanging out, having a good time. Then we got juror number 2 over at the bar having a drink. And who else is over there at the bar? The judge. She over there waving to D.A. Leah. I was like, see. Everybody needs to recuse themselves. Everybody, let's just start over because this is not going to work out. You already know they're going to have Pam back. They're going to have D.A. Leah's back, honestly. They're going to have to find something to stick it to Pam. I mean, we already know how this is going to play out because Pam's ass is in prison for real, in real time, in real life. And so we know how this ends, but yeah, Pam she really thought she set it up. She thought she broke it up. And you did not, Pamela girl. Pamela Hupp, girl, that's what you thought. That's what you thought. Anyway, I'm enjoying this. I am really enjoying this. Let me get off of here because it's getting late. It's like it done started to rain as well. Anyway, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.